Hi, welcome to today's On This Day in Tudor History with me, Claire Ridgway, author of several Tudor history books. Now, on this day in Tudor history, in the reign of King Henry VIII, on the 17th of December 1538, Pope Paul III announced the excommunication of King Henry VIII from the Roman Catholic Church. The bull read, "Bull against Henry VIII, renewing the execution of the bull of 30th of August 1535, which had been suspended in hope of his amendment, as he has since gone to still further excesses, having dug up and burnt the bones of St. Thomas of Canterbury and scattered the ashes to the winds, after calling the saint to judgment, condemning him as contumacious and proclaiming him a traitor, and spoiled his shrine. He has also spoiled St. Augustine's monastery in the same city, driven out the monks and put in deer in their place." So lots of things there to upset the Catholic Church and the Pope. And Henry VIII had already upset the Pope and the Church by annulling his marriage to Catherine of Aragon and marrying Anne Boleyn, declaring himself supreme head of the Church of England, persecuting those who oppose the acts of supremacy and succession, dissolving the monasteries, and of course his handling of the Pilgrimage of Grace rebellion. And it wasn't as if he hadn't had any warnings. Pope Clement VII had threatened the king with excommunication in March 1530, after he'd found out from Catherine of Aragon that Henry VIII had boasted that he would take a second wife, notwithstanding the inhibition and mandate against him. Then in July 1533, the Pope had declared his divorce from Catherine and marriage with Anne Boleyn null, pronouncing the king to have incurred the greater excommunication, but suspending the declaration of the same till the end of September. Henry VIII ignored the Pope's warnings, and on the 30th of August 1535, Pope Paul III issued a sentence of excommunication against the king. This excommunication was then suspended in the hope that Henry would toe the line. But his subsequent behaviour led to the Pope finally renewing the bull and excommunicating the king on this day in 1538. The final straw, as mentioned in the bull of excommunication, was Henry's attack on religious shrines in England, shrines that contained religious relics and that were visited by many pilgrims. One such shrine, as mentioned by the Pope, was that of St. Thomas Becket in the Trinity Chapel of Canterbury Cathedral. This was seen as one of Europe's holiest shrines and was therefore a popular destination for pilgrims from all over Europe. In a meeting of the King's Council on the 24th of April 1538, a process against St. Thomas of Canterbury was decided. Sentence to the effect that Thomas, formerly Archbishop of Canterbury, having been cited and no one having appeared for him, judgment is given that in his lifetime he disturbed the realm and his crimes were the cause of his death, although the people hold him for a martyr. He is therefore never to be named martyr in future. His bones are to be taken up and publicly burnt, and the treasures of his shrine confiscated to the king. This edict is to be published in London, Canterbury and elsewhere. And that judgment was given on the 11th of June 1538. This sentence pronounced, the king commanded it to be put into execution the 11th of August. The gold and silver of the shrine filled 26 wagons. On the 19th, the sacrilege was completed and the sacred relics publicly burnt and the ashes scattered. Now, one treasure which was purloined by the king from the shrine was the Regale of France, a great ruby which was donated by King Louis VII. And Henry VIII had this ruby set into a thumb ring for himself. So he didn't throw that away, no, he kept that. But such desecration of a place which many pilgrims and the Catholic Church as a whole saw as holy could not go unpunished. Not when it was the last in a long line of things that Henry VIII had done against the church, and it really was the final straw for Pope Paul III, and why he issued the bull of excommunication on this day in 1538. The Pope had had enough of the English king, and who can blame him, really? Thank you for joining me. You can subscribe by clicking round about there, and I would ask you to do that, as it's lovely to have subscribers, and it does mean, oh, Madge has just come on here to say subscribe as well, and it does mean that YouTube share my videos with lots of other people as well. You can hit the bell to be notified as videos go live, and you can of course give me a like if you've enjoyed this talk, and leave a comment. But thank you for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.